Hello again and thanks for joining. Today I've got two Trix International wagons to have a look at, and they're both in the Bavarian green colour. Trix is fast becoming one of my favourite brands. Every time I get these models they always seem to be really good quality. These are second-hand models. The first one has got a number 23640 and the other one is got a longer number, it's 52363100. I believe both these models were produced in early 1980s. So they are quite old models now, almost 40 years, but do they still stack up in terms of detail? So let's get them out the boxes and we'll give them a closer look. So we've got two very detailed open wagons here, both in the Bavarian green colour, which is very appealing. The smaller of the two came with this in the box, which looks like some stanchions which can be added in. These are in original packaging. They haven't been fitted by the previous owner, even though these are second-hand models. And they're obviously quite old, but it looks as though they're very clean, possibly never been used, which is pretty lucky on my part. I did say these were second-hand, so I will tell you how much these cost me at the end of the video. But for now, as we look at this 3-plank open wagon, it does have a lot of nice detail. But straight away, I'm really impressed with the wood effect on this. The grain looks really cool, and the printing on it also works really well. So they've done very good with the printing onto this rough surface. And there's even printing down here on the chassis as well in the yellow too. So a lot of interesting things to read on the side of these wagons. And we also have a different colour on the inside. And this planking detail down the bottom here, you can see the little holes there for the stanchions to go in. Not much detail on the side, but we can see where the doors are. And if you look at the outside of the doors here, there is some really nice rivet detail added on here as well. At the end of the wagon again, the grain effect is very good, but we've also got some other details moulded in too, and that's the same for both ends. But there isn't that much detail on the buffer beam because it has the coupling hanging out the front and it does articulate back and forward, so that does take up a bit of space there. No NEM pockets on these couplings, which gives you an idea of the age, but I do like the fact that the mechanism for the cantilever effect is hidden inside the middle of the wagon, which is really quite cool. The buffers are very fine, they could easily get broken off, but they do look really good as well. And we've got these steps coming down at the corners as well. Again, easily broken off. Looking underneath this wagon, we've got some really good planking detail again. All the bracing and brake gear as well, even right underneath the wheels. The wheels are really nicely free rolling too. And they've got brakes in line with the wheels. I do like the spokes on the wheels too. So it's a really cool looking and interesting wagon with a lot of detail. But let's move on to the other one. So this is very similar, but obviously here we have a 6-plank wagon, so more wood on the side of it and more substantial doors as well with a lot more detail and rivets on them. There's more writing on this, but it's very similar to the first one. And we have the same effect inside, but no holes for the stanchions on this one. But the same colour scheme and the same attention to detail when it comes to the grain on the wood effect on the deck there. This is exactly the same chassis as the first one, same wheels and brake gear and all the details underneath, and the same setup with the couplings. So basically the same chassis, just with a slightly different body on it. And the ends of this wagon look a little bit simpler than the 3-plank wagon, but it still has all the grain and the bracing as well. Really looks very good, this. So two very similar wagons, but slightly different. They do look absolutely fantastic. Let's put these on the scales and see how much they weigh. So the 3-plank wagon weighs 35 grams. And the larger wagon, unsurprisingly, heavier at 37 grams. Well, aren't these two lovely little wagons? I can't actually believe these were made in the 80s. Well, that's when I believe they were made, because they're absolutely packed with detail and the quality here is really high as well. I would say these are as good as modern wagons. The obvious giveaway here is it doesn't have NEM pockets on either of these two wagons. And let's face it, we very rarely change our couplings anyway. These really do stack up against the best that you can get on the market today. And considering these are second-hand models as well, I think I've really lucked out, and these are fantastic little things. And when it comes to price, well, I did say I would tell you how much these cost, and for me, each of these cost £10. I think that's a fantastic price. When you consider modern wagons, if you buy them brand new, could be around about £30 for this, maybe even more. On the second-hand market in this condition, for £10 each, I think that's a bargain. And when they were this good back in the 80s, how can they be any better today? It's testament to how good Trix made things back in the day and they still continue to do so today. Well, it's obviously Marklin really, but like I said, fast becoming my most favourite brand. But what do you think about these two little wagons? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. I'll put these on the turntable so you can see all the way around. Thanks for watching this video. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next one.
So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, tiny worlds, choo choo. So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, tiny worlds, choo choo.